Hello everybody, my name is iFell, the creator of Chaotic Combat TCG. And this is a part 3 to these two videos right here. We're going to continue looking through the timelines of these cards and see how much they've changed over the years. Enjoy. These cards have had many different changes. I've gone through what I like to call the 4 different eras. We have the original era, made in 6th grade, just these flat printed paper cards. Then we have the smallest out of all of them, this kind of micro era. So we have the original, then we have the micro, then we have the beta, which I made in 8th grade before I fully refurbished and made the new versions of the cards. And after that, we have the newest era of cards, the ones that I'm actually making and selling on the Game Crafter. Not selling yet, I haven't gotten that all set up yet. So yeah, we're going to be going through the timelines for these cards in this video. So starting off, we have Cob Cannon, just this cob of corn with cannons on his arms. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite cards. He's funny. He shoots kernels, and it's just, I don't know, I like him. And he was one of the first arts I did for both the original and for the new version of this game. And I'm really glad on how he turned out. Next up, we have the Great Fin Angelfish. This, in the original game, this was actually the evolution of another basic fish creature. But in the new one, obviously not. It's just, I didn't feel like it worked with what the card kind of needed to do. So yeah, these are the 3 versions of it. And in the original, it was able to revive creatures, which was good, except, first of all, you had to evolve it, and evolution worked way differently in the old version. It was really hard to actually evolve your cards. And even if you did end up pulling that off, sure, you can revive creatures, but there was already an equipment card that could do that. And these stats are just really bad. Like the max in both games is 200, and this for an evolution and stage 1 is just not good. Next up, we have Terrorhorn, another really iconic card. It's just, a rhino, but, it's rocks on it. Yeah, I really like how the new artwork looks. Yeah, the pose I had him in. This was actually the first card I made for this new finished version of the game. And I really like how it turned out. Next up, we have the Grubber line. In both games, they had evolutions, but this one evolved into either a ladybug or a stink bug, and this new version evolved into a moth. So while they're both little grubs, they evolve into different things in the game. Yeah. Overall, the new version, pretty good support for the nature deck. The original version, though, both it and its evolutions were low-key really useless. What can you do? Next up, we have the Floater line. The original, I think it's really funny. His name is just He's a narwhal. Yeah, honestly, for level 1, he was really, really bad. But now his stats are a lot better. He provides a lot more utility, and he was really just like a basic narwhal in the original. So I gave him a kind of wing aesthetic where he has like feathers there and there instead of his flippers. So yeah, I think that is a good change, and it really improved design. That's what 4 years of practice gets you. Next up, we have the Dusk Pollinators. These are actually the only spirit types in set 1, because the spirit type starter deck is going to be in set 2. So this is the first look so far that anybody has of what a spirit type looks like in this new version of the game. Yeah, In the original, it was just like a group of bees. They weren't really ghost related at all. Didn't really make sense for them to be spirit type if they didn't have anything to do with ghosts. So in the new version, they've got little scythes instead of antenna. They have ghostly wings. They have extra eyes. They've got a lot. So now it actually makes more sense for them to be spirit types. And my cat is on the desk. Hello. Yeah, so that's what these two. What are you doing? Hi. So yeah, now the spirit element is more fitting for their design. And yeah, they provide really good utility for nature cards, which is what they did in the original, because they're bees. They support like plants and stuff. So yeah. Oh. A giant evil worm. Huh. In the original, it had these cartoonish eyes like on the top of its head, which, worms don't have eyes. So I'm not really sure where I went with that. I don't know what was up with that W on the word burrow. But yeah, the original, it was just goofy. I mean, look at it. It's never meant to be like any serious type of thing. And then the new art is a lot more serious than the old one, but it's still just, big worm with teeth. Yeah, that's it. It's just a really, really big worm. Here we go. We got Orca Shark, another really fun card. I really like its original art. It's just since all the really, really old cards that I made, like when I very first started this version of the game, I just have a lot of nostalgia for, and they were just really cartoony, and just, I don't know, I really like them. And Orca Shark is one of those. It's, an orca and a shark, one's a mammal, one's a fish, so the name really didn't make sense. And it didn't look like either of those two either, so I don't really know where I was going with that. But in the new version, I actually ended up combining some of the elements of both orcas and sharks. See, it's got pointy teeth on the top, like a shark, but then more flat teeth, like orcas have. Which, I think is a cool detail. Just overall, really fun card. I really like them both. But look what they did to him. No, my boy. No. I'm acting like I didn't make this card. The next card, Dune Racer, wasn't actually a creature in the original game. This is the very first iteration of this character. But I got the idea from these two equipment cards in the original game. We have calculations where this character Cure is thinking up and imagining these kind of makeshift wings. And then you see in a later card, Fight or Flight, that this character, Night Goblin, he's using the wings and flying around with them. So I took that kind of makeshift wings idea and turned it into Dune Racer, who, flies around the deserts in his makeshift, wingsuit. So yeah, that's how I came up with his idea. Speaking of this character here, we're going to move on to him next. Here we have Cure. He was the first ever card I ever made for this original version of the game. First trading card I ever made, and he's actually part of the mystery element, because he came from this alternate dimension and nobody really knew anything about him. Of course, the lore for him has changed now, but his design, it has shifted a bit. I redesigned him when I was first starting out making this new game with these two versions. So he started out, his little emblem on his chest used to be blue, and he had more flat eyes and a mouth. Same with this one. And then in the new one, he has more circular eyes, and the emblem on his chest is now glowing yellow like the rest. So yeah, overall, I am really nostalgic for these cards, and I think I like how the new one turned out. Next up, we have Card Reshuffle. Just overall, very basic. trading cards, look at the top cards to your deck, put them back in any order. Just a really basic, good resource. The original, sure, it was kind of boring. Yeah, that's it. It was just kind of boring. The new one, I added the back of the cards here. I added kind of like the swirly effects, turn into a hand, like wrap around it. And overall, a much better look. I actually really like how this one turned out. Next up, we actually have a pair of cards. It's Typhoon and Sand Twister. These two cards, I was originally going to make one for every type. This one says, destroy all creatures on the field except for water type creatures. And this was the same, but for Terra. Also, the creatures were called Kyorita in the old game. It was just, I don't know, that was just like the name of them. Like Pokemon, except it's Kyorita. They were originally just these, natural disasters. But in this new one, they're both sentient and they're out to kill. So we have Typhoonus, this big, crazy storm, and then we have Sandius, a sandstorm. So yeah, these two came as a pair. One of them's in the Aqua deck, the other one's in the Terra deck. I don't plan on making any more of these weather creatures. I think it's just going to be these two. But yeah, I really like how they changed. I really like, especially this one's Typhoon. This was the first one I made. I really like how I did the background and just all the swirliness. Sandius, is good still. Just I enjoy Typhoon is a lot better. Next up, we have the two jellyfish characters. The original, he's just named Flynn. He was, I don't know, just a jellyfish. Ignore the way his eyes look. I don't know why I made them look like that. It's not, it looks really weird. So in the new one, I changed it. He looks a lot better. I like his art more. It's still very similar, like the same kind of idea overall. Next, we're moving on to the other jellyfish. In the original game, this card actually was the evolution of Flynn. So it was just more like stronger, purple jellyfish. Except for an evolution and a level 3, his stats sucked. The only reason I think I made it that high is because it had an attack to make the opponent Kyorita's defense 0. Which still isn't that good because it takes a turn to pull off. The original game was just way too unbalanced. And in the new one, it's not evolved from Jellyflame. It's just another jellyfish character. Let's keep it going with the aqua cards. We have Crabby Clam. This is one of the 3 members of the wildly dangerous and infamous seafood gang. Ooh. The original, he was really just like a clam with little eyes. But in the new versions, I gave him actually arms. He's still really boring though. But yeah, this is, as I said, the first member of the seafood gang. We're gonna get on to all of them next. This card, Undercover Worm, he's a part of the seafood gang, but he's actually, as his name suggests, undercover, here to take them down. He basically works for the law and trying to take down this crime gang. He's really simple. In the original, he's literally just a worm, but he had sunglasses and a smile. In the new one, I added more color variation. I gave him a bow tie. Yeah, new one just more complex and better looking artwork. And finally, the infamous leader of the seafood gang, the lobster mobster. I don't know how 6th grade me came up with this idea, but it's honestly hilarious, and I couldn't not include him in this new version of the game. It's just like, it's a wild concept. No refunds. What was I on when I was making this card? I don't know. Yeah, but these both are kind of centered around draw power, which is kind of what the Aqua deck is sort of centered around. Yeah, original, he literally just had a fedora and a mustache. That was it. New one, I made him look more, he had more clothing, looked more, like a mobster, crime boss kind of thing. Still just a really funny idea. And yeah, now we have the actual seafood gang resource card. Yeah, so the original showed all 3 of them there. Still, really boring artwork. My character design skills obviously weren't great back then. New card, I think, looks a lot better. Yeah, they have the same effect. I definitely like the new artwork more. I kind of messed up Krabby Clam on there. He looks a bit wonky, but overall, a big improvement from the original. And still just a really funny card. This group of 4 cards, they don't really have that much synergy together. Couldn't build a deck around them, but it's just really funny. Next, we have Radar. Simple artwork in both, although definitely I prefer the new one. Very simple abilities as well. Same thing, just a reliable option. It's not the best card, but I can see it being better in certain other decks that are coming up in set 2. Next up, we got the Egg archetype. We have the Egg Turtle, who actually, he's not a turtle, he's a tortoise. He's got feet. He doesn't have flippers. Turtles have flippers. So in the new art, I made sure to change that. Overall, just really goofy and silly cards. I like how all of them turned out. Now we have the titular egg itself. Originally, it was obviously a resource card, but now it's an actual creature and actually works with the egg archetype now. It, just helps you get him out when it's killed. Overall, really useful card for the nature deck. It's just an egg, Now we have the boss creature for the egg archetype. We have the Egg Mother. Its stats are pretty good, but I'm not sure if they warrant level 3, but its ability definitely does. When this creature dies, which with its high defense, it'll take a while to do anyway, it will add 2 level 1 or lower egg creatures from your discard pile to hand, which is super good. It's like recycling back to your level 1 or 2 egg creatures, which is what you're gonna be getting to and using and then getting killed anyway. So this card, really good. Probably the best boss creature in the 4 base starter decks. This is what the original one looked like. It was just kind of this cosmic floating worm whale type thing. It was more kind of just some psychic crazy whale thing that flies around in the sky. I definitely prefer the new one though, but the original, I don't know. I'm not sure how much I like it. Next up, we have Medusi. Another really early card in the original game. It was just a kind of, Medusa, Gorgon type creature, except the snakes on its head, for some reason, didn't have any teeth, which was weird. Really just pretty basic, honestly. But in the new one, I changed it up a lot. You can see the snakes actually. What the freak? My camera! Adjust, please. The snakes actually have teeth. You can see she's getting turned to stone by her own spell. She's still trying to curse other people while doing so. So she's kind of just half living, half stone, evil statue type of thing, which is, I think, a lot more unique than the original. Although I still really do love this card. Now we have Floor, a really basic support card for the Aqua deck. The original was another really early card. I don't know what I did to that goldfish to make it look like that. We're gonna blur that. But yeah, it was just, catching a fish with a fishing pole. New art, definitely still really simple. Although I do like the background colors a lot. You can actually see it's the same goldfish on the fish food package. Wow. Although, new one definitely looks a lot less interesting than the old one, I'll say that. Overall, still a really good support card. We're gonna do a lightning round because this is definitely the biggest evolution line in any of the games. So, we got the original, Shelly, still named Shelly, just the basic stage 1 for this branching evolution line. Next up, we have Bigosaur, a basic T-Rex kind of creature. The original, he had a giant head and a really tiny body. Then the new one, I made it look a bit more realistic. I like how I did the eyebrows on that though. Next, this is Electroraptor. While Bigosaur was supposed to be the more tanky defensive one, Electroraptor is the speedy, more attack-focused evolution. The original one is just a boring Velociraptor. New one, I added a lot more, making the design way more unique compared to this one. Really like how this one turned out. Moving on to the final of this branching evolution. Finally, we have Draco-Dinks, who definitely has had the biggest change from the original. They're both kind of like stone, crystal kind of things, but Dragolea actually evolved, not from Shelly, but from a different creature in the original game, Drago. But I decided to take the kind of like gemstone concept and make it into the third evolution for Shelly. So yeah, that's the 4 evolution line. In the Terra deck, you have 2 copies of Shelly, so you're able to play 2 out of the 3 evolutions each game. To end this video off, we're gonna finish by meeting the 2 other brothers of Lava Oni, one of the 3 leaders of the Meadow Kingdom. We've got the middle sibling, Water Orc. The original, he was just kind of a swamp creature, big water blob. Not really that interesting. And the new one though, he's got kind of like an ice mouth, he's got a vest, he's got his shield, because he's the most defensive out of all 3 of them. I didn't end up making a beta version of this card or a tiny version of this card, so it's just these 2. Although I did make a tiny and beta version of Vine Golem. Oh yeah, this is probably a fan favorite. The original, he was actually called Moss Golem, even though vines were like his whole aesthetic, so I ended up obviously changing the name. And yeah, so in the original, he didn't have any kind of weapon. In the tiny version, he had a little giant vine. Then new one, he has a giant hammer. Now, we're going to see the enraged forms of these guys. These are the enraged forms of both Vine Golem and Water Orc. I really like how both of these look. Vine Golem, obviously he got more vines around his chest and around his hammer, turning into like a giant bat. You can see how small it is and how much vines are just wrapped around it. Then Water Orc, he's gone crazy. He's got a bunch of ice behind him and on his head. He's got his jacket just flying off and a giant shield. Yeah, so now we have all 3 brothers revealed and complete. Now we have all the forms of the 3 brothers. I think they all look really good. I hope you guys think so too. That's going to be the end of this video. Watch out for part 4 where I'll be going through even more of these card timelines. Also subscribe!